All right, you guys, I'm gonna show you guys how to do something that is actually pretty confusing, and we're gonna be using MyFitnessPal to enter a recipe, but the cool thing about it is I'm gonna show you guys how to be able to adjust the recipe. So let's say one night you want this dinner, but you want to have 350 grams of this recipe. But the next night your macros only allow for you to have 200 grams of the recipe. I'm gonna show you how to make this super easy and simple. Okay, so we're gonna be using my screen capture. So we're gonna jump right over and I'm gonna log into MyFitnessPal and show you guys exactly how to do this. All right, go to the meal that you wanna add in and click on Add Food. Then we're gonna come over and click on Recipes. Then we're going to enter ingredients manually. Now we're gonna title our recipe. I'm just gonna title this one Sample Recipe. Really creative. And we're going to say the whole recipe just serves one for right now. Then let's go ahead and add ingredients. Let's start with some chicken breast. We're going to click on our grilled chicken. And let's go ahead and do 1 pound. All right, next ingredient. Let's add some cream of chicken soup. All right, let's choose this Campbell's, and 1/2 cup is great. Adding another ingredient. Let's do some jasmine rice. I want to measure cooked rice, so I'm going to actually write cooked in here. And we are going to do 2 cups. All right, next ingredient. Let's go ahead and add some crushed tomatoes. Half cup is good. And last ingredient, we're going to add some cheddar cheese on top. Let's go ahead and do 4 ounces. And those are all of our ingredients. So we're going to click this arrow in the upper right hand corner. And that is our macros for the entire recipe. Okay, here's where it gets tricky. You're going to need to weigh the entire recipe to see how many grams the entire recipe weighs. Then you're going to come back to this screen and enter that number for the amount of servings. So we're going to assume the entire recipe weighs 1,200 grams. You'll do this by first weighing the container and then weighing the container with the recipe and subtracting that amount. So now that it's time for you to log your recipe, you're going to come into your app for the day, click on the Add Food, click on Recipes, then click on your sample recipe, and now you're going to enter in how many grams you want to eat for your meal tonight. So we're going to say 250 grams. That's going to give you about 299 calories. So we're going to go with that. Go ahead and click the check mark. Now let's flip your phone on its side and check out those macros for 250 grams of the recipe. Okay, now let's say tomorrow you want to have the same dinner again, but you have a little bit more of a calorie allowance. So let's click on Dinner, Add Food, go over to Recipes, click on our sample recipe. But tonight we're going to add 375 grams. Maybe you have a 450 calorie allowance. So let's go ahead and flip our phone on its side and check out the macros for 375 grams of this recipe. If that works with your macros for the day, then you've got your dinner. I'm going to show you one more cool way to add a recipe into MyFitnessPal. We're going to go to my Pinterest page and find a recipe that I want to add straight from the internet. Let's try this meatloaf recipe. So we're going to actually go to the website. Then you need to copy and paste the exact web address into your MyFitnessPal. So we got that copied. Let's come on over to MyFitnessPal. Go to Add Food. Click on Recipes. This time we're going to add from the web. So you're going to copy and paste the link for that recipe right here. Then hit Go. What it's going to do is it's going to import the recipe ingredients. So you want to check those and make sure they look correct. Then click the upper right hand corner arrow. It's going to match ingredients, and you need to go through and double check those and make sure it looks right to you, that it looks like the same ingredients that you buy from the store. One thing I'm going to show you how to change is that ground beef. I always use extra lean ground beef. I notice that's not the macros of my beef. So I'm going to research for a 96.4 lean ground beef. All right, those are the macros I use, so I'm going to change this to 2 pounds. And you'll do the same thing for any other ingredient that doesn't look right to you. That barbecue sauce, you want to double check that one for sure. Now you're going to save it. Now we're back here to the weighing it. You want to weigh the whole recipe, then come back in and put the weight of the entire recipe. I'm just completely guessing here. I didn't actually weigh that recipe. Then you'll come back in, add your food, go to Recipes, click on your meatloaf, and put in the weight of your portion, just like we did before. So we're going to do 95 grams of this meatloaf and potatoes. And there's our macros for this serving size. All right, you guys, so hopefully that makes sense to you, and hopefully that video helped you and will help you add more variety into your meal plan and your macros. Enjoy!